Pay attention. It's snippet time. Hello, gals, and welcome to Sober Living Snippets, where we live alcohol-free, or do our best. Not all of us are alcohol-free. So we can heal up those relationships, feel youthful again, and ditch regret and shame. I'm Becca Jacobson, and I have a snippet for you. If you're new, welcome to Snippet Land. As I like to say, it is the place to be for 40-plus women. Before we do anything today, gals, I want to remind you that this coming Monday, March 31st, we are starting our next book study. We're looking at the classic by Susan Jeffers called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Join me as I walk you through this book and we look at the key takeaways for those of us who struggle with alcohol. Gals, I'm feeling mellow today. Earlier this week, I couldn't stop giggling, and today I'm feeling mellow. What does that mean? Am I moody? Am I a moody? No. I actually feel good every day, to be honest, which is a total and complete and absolute miracle. I feel mellow right now, but very happy. It's a very interesting feeling, and I do want to talk to you about feelings today. My general state of being for all of my life until my early 50s was one of angst, discontent, regret, frustration, worry. I mean, I can count on one hand. Actually, no, that was going to be a lie. I don't think I was ever just content, just me, just there, just living my life, because I didn't know how, and I was always struggling with alcohol. Even if I hadn't drank for a week, it was there in the back of my mind, bugging me. So there's alcohol literally steals our lives in so many ways. It's just ridiculous when I think about it. Ridiculous. So the reason I'm talking about this is, do you realize? I sometimes think, do they realize? I didn't realize. I want you to realize what you can have. I want you to realize what you can have. And I try to say this. I talk about transformation. I don't just say that. I don't just say, let's use big words and make it sound good. Total transformation, radical. No, I mean it. When I talk about happiness, when I talk about freedom, I mean it. And the women who come into my world find that out. And the ones that don't get as free as quickly, that's fine. We all go at our own pace. But they know it's there and they know it's possible. Because we're all different, right? And hey, by the way, it took me about a year and a half. I would say actually the first 2 years before I got to where I get feeling better. I feel better every year, every month by month, I feel better. And I'm in year 7. So, when I talk about this, I don't mean like the foundational program I have is 8 weeks. What can you do in 8 weeks? Oh my God, right? But we can lay the foundation and learn the techniques and learn, and then it's practice. But you start feeling better right away, but you still don't really get it. It takes a while to really get it and realize how good you can feel. Because we're wounded, gals. We come into this really badly wounded. We've been around a long time. We've had a lot of crap happen to us. And it's not just a matter of snap of the fingers and do a couple of things and don't drink for a few weeks in a row and everything's peachy keen. No, I get that. I totally get that. And that's why I really want to emphasize to you the necessity of real and true long-term sobriety and learning how to do it. Because over time, you will see the difference. You get both. You feel great right away because you're with other people, you're growing together, you feel so loved and supported. So you feel great right away in that sense, but there's still the struggle, right? And then the true and real freedom where you're flying and you realize, wow, it's amazing. Like I can handle anything here. It takes a while, right? But you can get it. You can get there. You really can. And you're not going to believe this. Actually, you'll believe it because those of you who know me, you'll believe this. This is not what I was going to talk about. I turned the microphone on with a particular plan. I always do. I have a topic. I'm not completely insane. And it wasn't this. So sometimes we just got to let come out of the mouth what wants to come out of the old mouth. Something happens when the microphone is turned on, and at that point it's all beyond my control. But no, I think I will switch to what I was going to talk about because it's all relevant, and there's no harm in spending the first 5 minutes just letting you know how completely amazing you really can feel once you commit to changing your life and doing a little bit of work, and it's fun work. It really is fun work. Anyways, what is today's snippet? Let me have a look here at my notes and find out what I was going to talk about. Yeah, well, what I was going to talk about, and now I will talk about, is are you living or are you preparing to live? This is a bad habit we have. It's always the next thing. It's never the thing. So let's talk about right now. No, now. No, now. Actually, now. Oh, hold on. Let's do it now. Oh, wait a minute. No, now. Oh, wait. How do you do now? Because it comes and goes. Now? I'm confused. What is now? It just passed. In the time it took me to say N-O-W, it passed away to a new now. You get my point here. We all know and we all hear all the stuff we know, all this stuff we hear. Live in the moment, be here now, live in the today. Don't allow yourself to worry about the future or regret the past. We hear that. We hear it over and over and over. It's really, really important, but how do we do it? So the question is, are you living or preparing to live? You know that old saying, life is what happens while you're making other plans. I spent my life like that. I know I did. I still catch myself doing it. It's really hard not to do this. It's the way our minds work, that we're thinking about, oh, tomorrow this is going to be great. And when that happens, or when I get off work, or once the grandkids do this, or once I have that, or we're always planning the next thing and expecting it to be better than this moment. And living in the now is really, really hard. But there are ways we can live more in the now. I don't think anybody's living completely in the now. It's really, really difficult, right? But there are ways we can live more in the now and spend less time planning to live and more time living. And one of them that I talk about all the time is the importance of your sacred space and your daily self-care. It is in those moments that you are in the now. Maybe not at first. Maybe you've tried it and you're like, I don't know, Becca talks about this morning journaling or the morning this or the that, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm, struggling. What is she talking about? Well, it does take practice. And it's also better if you're properly trained. But with persistence, and I'm not the type of person, I do not bring you fluff here. I say that all the time too. I am not willing to talk on the snippets about quick fix this and overnight that, because it's bullshit. I know it, you know it. And it's all we hear out there these days. It drives me completely batty. The quickest way to this, overnight that, fast weight loss, quick this, quick that. Look, if it's quick, we don't even want it because it's garbage. You don't want garbage, do you? No, you want high quality for your life. You want the real McCoy in your life. Well, I'm sorry, but overnight stuff is not the real McCoy. It's crap. So with patience, we can learn to live more in the moment and enjoy now. And it is just practice. So one of the best things that we can do to start this is catch ourselves, pay attention to where the thoughts are. And when we catch ourselves wandering off into the future, worries about this and that, or when we catch ourselves wandering back to the past, regretting this or that, we just bring it back. With the patience of a freaking saint, we got to do this. We treat our minds like the little baby or a puppy, and we don't beat them up. We just know that it's kind of there. Our thoughts are really quite useless. I recently, just 2 days ago, I finished the Sober Spring Cleanse 5-day challenge. Maybe that's why I'm so pumped, because I love doing those events because I get so close to you gals. I get to see your faces and hear your stories, and it makes me so jacked up for days. I'm already planning my next event. And this is one of the things I talk about on, I think it was day 3, how our thoughts are completely useless. They're useless. Like, to stop thinking. Like, there's no point to thinking. Now, what do I mean by that? Unless you are intentional and you're sitting down to work on a project from some skill that you learned at school or in your profession, and you're sitting there and you are doing that work, that's the only time your mind and your thoughts are of any use whatsoever. All other moments of your day is just garbage. Garbage. You're remembering the past, thinking about the future, and usually with a negative emotion attached to it. The mind is simply a recording device. That's why we bring it to school and we let it learn stuff so it can remind us what we learned, and then we can get skillful and we can get a career and get money and make our lives, right? So we learn to tie the shoe, then we know how to tie the shoe. The mind is very useful. I'm not saying it's not useful. We don't want to destroy it, but it is just a recording device. And if we let it run our lives, then we're letting a complete lunatic run our lives. Like, why would you hand your life over to a recording machine? It's pure ego. All it cares about is getting away from pain and moving towards pleasure, which is not for your highest good. That is not your highest good. If that's what you want in life, that's why you're drinking. You're trying to move towards pleasure or away from pain. That's why we drink. And we have to want more out of life than just that. I don't want to feel bad, give me a drink. Or I already feel bad, give me a drink. Or want to get in a better mood, give me a drink. That's all ego. That's just the mind saying, let's get away from pain, move towards pleasure, record what we did yesterday, think about what we'll do tomorrow. It's all garbage, all garbage. Almost all of it completely useless. As I said, the only time your mind is helping you and doing something productive is when you are intentionally using it. So you sit down, you decide you're going to paint a beautiful picture, you're artistic, you do that. That's beautiful. That is and in that case, actually, when we're doing artistic work, it's not the mind either. That's your soul. That's your intuition starting to flow. But when you're sitting in front of the computer or working with a person or whatever you do for a career, and you are using the information you were taught to help others or do your job, that's what the mind is for. All other moments of the day, shut her down. Don't allow it to run your life. Don't allow it to run your life. So how do we do this? Well, as I said, it takes practice. We don't get quick fixes. And one of the simplest ways, and I just said this to my clients this morning, so I went into our little WhatsApp group. When you join my program, you're in a little WhatsApp group. And this morning I went in there and I said, hey gals, what is your go-to thought for this week when the mind tries to take over? And they all responded with their go-to thought. They all know that they want to have something to anchor the mind to so that they're not at the mercy of it. Mine is always the same. I've shared it before. Here it is again. I relax and put aside all mental burdens. That's all I do. When I realize, the mind is trying to take over, I'll just say that over and over, and it works. Very quickly, I relax and put aside all mental burdens. I'm not worrying about the future. I'm not regretting the past. And then once we've calmed the mind down, in moments when we don't need it for anything else, like when we're driving or brushing the teeth, we can either do that or we can decide to be productive. We can think about our next project. What do I want to do at work tomorrow that'll be productive? How can I be more serviceful to my employer? Or how can I help my family more? Put it to use. It's a device, a recording device. It's highly skilled, but also very unruly. So plan what you're going to do with your mind. What are you going to do with your mind? How are you going to use it instead of letting it use you? Because when it uses you, it jerks you around, takes you through emotional roller coasters, makes you feel like you're at the mercy of your emotions, and leads you straight to the bottle. Gals, this snippet is coming to a close. It's amazing what can happen when you turn on the microphone. I hope you got something out of it. I think I know what I wanted to talk about. I think I said it. And if you enjoyed it and you got something out of it, then I highly recommend you go to the show notes and give me your email so I can send you the Sober Living letters. This is a letter I send out on Mondays usually. I apologize. Sometimes it's Tuesdays. I'm a busy person. But you do get at least one letter from me a week, and then other stuff as well I send you. So you want to be on my email list so that I can send you extra goodies that supplement the snippets. Why not? I don't send garbage, and I don't send sales pitches, and I invite you to my events, and you definitely want to be on the Sober Living letters because it's part of Snippet Land, and you are now in Snippet Land. So go to the show notes, sign up for the letters, and let's get connected there, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, my dear, for being in my world. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.